lived in the 200,000 before Christ until 14,000 before Christ. Our first research question is, how did the prehistoric people make their clothes?
At first, we used leather and fur after eating the meat, but then we learned how to elaborate them with plants and solids.
Our second research question is, how did the prehistoric people make their clothes? How
Did the prehistoric people clothes?
provide only physical needs?
No, the prehistoric people clothes provided also showed our social class, except for providing our physical needs.
When we discovered more species of plants, we used them as clothing and we decorated them and painted them.
In some more advanced stage, we, the cavemen, started to sew our clothes from leather stripes and wool from sheep that we started to raise instead of hunting.
I am Rani, and I'm 16 years old. My husband made for me this period.
I am a hunter. I am wearing a shirt which is made of cheetah. I hunted this cheetah so I get to wear it.
I am a very respected woman because I have many children. Those stripes on my face are for scaring away wild animals.
We are the people from the Hellenistic period. We are going to tell you about this period and about us.
In 336 before Christ, Alexander the Great became the leader of the Greek kingdom of Macedonia. Alexander had built an empire from Greece all the way to India.
In the Hellenistic period of time, people were dressed in homemade clothes, usually white and loud, that were made of loose fabrics, not tight like people wear today.
Though the style of clothing was similar amongst people, the accessories of what set them apart.
I am the queen, and I am wearing an exclusive tunic made of golden material. I am a slave. I am wearing a tunic made of dark and rough material that I made on my own because I don't have enough money to buy one. In the Hellenistic period, people believed in 12 gods of Olympus and their faith in them was stronger than king's control.
I am Zeus. I am the god of the sky and the ruler of the Olympian gods.
I'm Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war. I'm also in charge of the olive oil and weaving.
I am Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty. I help anyone who feels true love and punish who that disregards other people's love.
We are presenting the Roman period.
So Yael, what is the difference in clothing between Roman period and today?
In the Roman period, the most common clothing was toga. Today, compared to the Roman period, men don't wear dresses. Their everyday clothing is pants and shirt. Most of the time, dresses are for event. Like in the Roman period, today, women like to wear accessories. In the Roman period, men wore shoes from leather. Today, people still wear shoes from leather, but there are more kinds of shoes, like sandals, training shoes, boots, and more.
Shai, what is the difference between everyday clothing and special occasions in the Roman time?
The difference is that on special occasions, clothing the women wore are the satul accessories and the men wore instead of the toga suits.
Yael is wearing a toga. Toga is a kind of clothing that the Roman wore. Roman residents who didn't receive citizenship weren't allowed to wear the toga. During the Roman period, toga was a war outfit, but proved uncomfortable and so was abandoned as a combat outfit. Toga quickly became indispensable and part of those who had a public job and continued to be so even during the Roman Empire.
Shai is wearing a toga. This toga was worn by the low-class citizens. They used to wear tunics that's made of dark materials. They didn't have enough money to buy expensive materials.
Ben is wearing a toga of the high class. It was made of bed sheets or white wool, and it's sometimes decorated with strips and colors.
Noah is wearing over the tunic wearing a satula. Satula is a short dress with white sleeves and sometimes sleeveless. Most of the women like to wear necklaces, bracelets, earrings and rings as accessories and decoration.
Maya is wearing toga pula, a black full toga which was worn by the lower classes or by mourners. Different species of togas were worn by various rules. For example, Iralis toga, a simple white toga which was worn by most of the Romans who reached adulthood. Another kind of toga is toga pretexta, a simple toga with purple edges which was worn by priests, emperors, and boys who haven't yet reached adulthood.
We are from the Middle Ages. We search about the connection between the clothing to the social classes.
I am the queen.
Long live the queen!
We, the royalty, are the leaders of the country. We take taxes and whatever we want from the citizens, so we are rich. We want to show our richness, so we wear fancy clothes.
I am a duchess. We, the nobility, are seconds to the royalty, so we are rich. We use our money to buy fancy clothes to show off. We are rich and we come from a upper social class because we inherited that from our parents.
I am a knight. We, the knights, were nobility without blood connection. We fight for our lord and we get lands for that. In the war, we fight with armor and weapons.
I am the Pope. We, the Pope, are the leaders of the Christian religion. We are rich because the church takes taxes. We wear fancy clothes with religion symbols.
I am a monk. We, the monk, live simple life because of our faith. If we live modest life, our life in the next world will be better.
I am a peasant. We are poor and no property. We wear clothes that we could get and usually make it by ourselves.
God bless you all.
Renaissance or rebirth was the time period of political, cultural, social and economical changes in Europe. Our first research question is who set the styles and trends during the Renaissance, and our second research question is how did the trading influence the Renaissance clothing?
I'm wearing shirt and pants which are made of cotton, which is the material the upper classes chose to wear because of the quality and the cost. The upper classes clothing material was available because of the trading, and it was possible because of the improvement in the economical situation.
I am wearing shirt and pants made of lining, which is the material the lower classes used to wear. The style of the clothing I am wearing was set by people with control and power. This has always been true, but the difference is that today's celebrities usually set style, instead of monarchs during the Renaissance.
I'm 12 and was born and raised in the upper class. As you can see, I'm wearing a shirt and a fitted jacket called a doublet. I'm also wearing fitting houses, which are similar to tights. I'm dressed to resemble my father's clothing, as both of our clothes are made from cotton and are similar. I'm also wearing breeches and I will wear cloaks in cold weather.
Hello, I'm Yoav. I'm Omri.
And I'm Shaka.
I'm Ila. And I am Shani.
And our research question is, how did the different jobs of the people in the Wild West influence the clothing of the Wild West? In the middle of the 19th century, people started to settle the countries of the frontier strip, North and South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. They led a hard life and struggled for their living, because they had to fight robbers who robbed their belongings and other criminals. Most of the people
My name is Noam.
My name is Ofek.
My name is Leo.
My name is Ronnie.
My name is Ido.
And I am Michal.
Our research question is, how did Queen Victoria affect the clothing in the Victorian period? Victoria was the first queen who ruled England, so most of the clothes were designed by her. For this time, men were the focus of fashion, but with a queen power, women surged to the front.
The Victorian era is related to Queen Victoria, who lived between the years 1837 to 1901. The Victorian era signifies the Industrial Revolution that occurred the economy, the society, and the technology fields.
During Queen Victorian reign, the British Empire became the most powerful in the world. It was a long era of peace, prosperity, and the British security grew.
The music was the most popular part of the entertainment. Most of the Victorian era music choice was romanticized to fit the different genres of dance style.
Waltz was the most popular dance in the Victorian era. In the Victorian era, thought it wasn't accepted at first. Dance was a living tradition with local variations, and Queen Victoria influenced it throughout the
At the beginning of the period, the girls walked with long skirts and long sleeves. Over time, the dresses became more tailored and wide, with hooks under them. The jewelry in the era include hearts, bow ties, flowers, and bells, symbols of love. Ladies had to have their legs completely covered by wearing black trousers. Throughout the Victorian era, fashion changed dramatically. At the end of the era, the hooks disappeared and the dress became more simple. I'm wearing white dress with hooks under the dress, and now look at Ronnie and Michal. They are wearing simple dress without hooks under the dress. Look at Leo. He is wearing a long jacket with canvas pants. This clothing was popular in this era. Thank you for watching us.
I am Tahor.
I am Yali.
I am Henny.
I am Alon.
And I am Yad.
We would like to present how World War II influenced on fashion. Second World War started in 1939 and ended in the year 1945. It was the greatest war mankind had ever had.
In 1933, the Germans voted for Adolf Hitler to lead Germany. He raised a political party named the Nazis.
On Friday, September 1939, the German forces broke into the Polish frontier by tanks, motorcycles, aeroplanes, and troops. Then Britain and France declared war against Germany.
Before the war, the democratic German government was weak from economical problems. Germany created unemployment and poverty was spread. Hitler and the Nazi party became too powerful and led to the change in German economy.
The Jews began to be drawn from work under the rules of the new order. They had to live in ghettos. The Germans wanted to raise the German race, so they killed gypsies, homosexuals, and Jews. The Jews' partisans were warriors who fought the Nazi army.
The partisans wrote Yiddish songs as the partisan song Shir Partizani, that became the anthem of the partisans. The war had much effect on fashion as clothes were in short supply. The government encouraged people to make, do, and mend.
Before the war, Jews were clothed like black suit with a tie. Look at me, I am wearing a black and elegant suit with a tie.
After the war, Israel was established. The main clothes were pioneers' clothes and uniform underground organization. Palmach Hagana Lechi and Tzal. The Palmach members were wearing short khaki trousers, boots, and hats.
The pioneers wore shirts with buttons, short khaki pants, and work boots.
We are presenting the Second World War.
I am Nir.
And I am Liel. In the 60s, there was a terrible war. The Six-Day War, the war was between Israel, Egypt, Jordan, and Syria.
A space race began between Russia and the USA. Then Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. And there were great excitement all over the world when Neil Armstrong said, "It's a small step for a man, but a big step for humanity."
In the 60s, there were cars with 3 wheels, 2 wheels in front and 1 at the back.
The 60s music was mostly rock and roll and popularity.
For example, the Beatles was a popular band all over the world in the 60s. That's why we asked ourselves what affected on the fashion in the 60s.
Hippies were members of the disc culture in the United States. We are America's new community who were characterized by peace and equality between people through love. They love to save the nature and use the outdoors.
The hippies were youngsters that sang songs against war and lived a life of peace and drugs. This is a group of youngsters that think that adults destroyed the world because of the wars and the unfair relations between people that they made.
The hippies wore t-shirts with a lot of colors and white pants.
Some of them put also round glasses that covered their eyes. Every hippie, man or woman, had a peace sign. They had long hair on their clothes who describe the freedom, peace and love that they want. Look at Neil. He had a band around his black hair. He is wearing a shirt, white peace and white sign of peace, and long pants. And we are the 60s. Hello guests, how are you? How are you? Fine. Before we begin to tell you what we present, we would like to introduce ourselves. I am Hila.
I am Ophir.
I am Liar.
I am Koral.
I am Yuval.
And I am Amit. We would like to present our fashion show according to our research question. How music influenced the clothes in the 70s.
In the 70s, there was a global energy crisis all around the world. In Israel, there was the Kippur War. And in Vietnam, the Vietnamese War, which happened between USA and the Vietnamese people. The world was busy and worried about those events.
Lots of new discoveries were developed, as the microwave oven and the compact discs for music. In addition, people believed that gender equality is necessary, and the feminine movement started to fight for their rights. Women in Judaism began to study in religious school and participate in prayers.
In the music era, the 70s were known mostly as disco, rock and punk music.
The disco music was the high-rate music that influenced funk music, salsa and Latin styles.
The rock music was a classical music, got the tempo of rock and after a few days became hip-hop.
The funk music was a combination of jazz and rock music which wasn't in high accords.
Clothing in the 70s was more important than music. Rock stars used to wear heavy makeup and shiny clothes, as Elvis Presley and Bob Dylan. The Jacksons band were well known at that time. They wore shiny and loose suits and their style of hair was afro.
People used to wear whatever seemed for them comfortable, no matter what or where